Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is a guest video from Heavy Arms, aka Silver Lightning, in the newly buffed Baund dock. They reduced the cooldown on the Big Claw, but primarily they just gave it a lot more defensive skills. It now has, they basically increased all of its buffers, they upped the level of both its maneuver armor and damage control, and they made its resonance skill. Ooh, good hit. Made its resonance skill come in at 50% instead of 30% health. So, yeah, that should make for a lot more effectiveness and survivability overall. And I'm going to have to remember Heavy's thing of doing the transform downswing into the standard downswing there, because that's got to be pretty significant. Well, it was. The damage was huge. So, yeah, that is a good thing to know. I should have thought of that. I didn't. I'm glad somebody else did. I can probably do it with a little practice. Also, aim. Sometimes aiming the Baund dock is kind of weird, because it is this... if you've never flown the transformed Baund dock, it is a kind of weird midpoint between a flight suit, something that doesn't transform but has the flight skill that lets them hover, and a mobile armor that, just is always flying forward. Like, it does hover, but otherwise it behaves an awful lot like something that flies. You can't, once you get it moving forward, it can go at really high speeds. But yeah, it is as weird to use as it looks, to be honest. At least that's always been my opinion of it. So I think that GPO4 survived by tackling through the downswing. I think that's the only thing that let them stay alive, and I think the Rick Diaz 2 came up behind it and finished it off. So yeah, Heavy's going to get some repairs now. Good idea. Just a little bit, enough to capture the point, but extra hit points that are basically free are extra hit points. So the other thing they did change for mobile suit mode is they made the swap time to the scattering megaparticle gun a little bit faster. So yeah, it seems to have been streamlined pretty nicely. I'm going to have to give this a try for myself. I might have one more Baund dock request to do. I got a couple so far this last few months. I think I got the Gates Kappa one, and I got the one from before that, which eludes me, but it is up here. And yeah, I might have another. I can't remember. I don't be remembering. Good claw there, right to the face. Like I if that didn't outright break that that Gundam's head, I'll be amazed. I think that is the... Not sure if it's the regular Gundam Unit 4 or the booster type. I think it's the regular one because it had a single hyper bazooka. So at least that's what it looked like to me. Been wrong before. It's a hobby. So far, team's doing really well. Heavy has managed to stay alive despite being on low health for way longer than I usually can. Well, I'll put it this way. Heavy has been alive on low health longer than some of my entire, spawns as Baund docks. Because, I'm glad they started giving it all this defense and these defensive skills, because it's... I feel like the game is gradually acknowledging that the large targets are just kind of a thing, and it's really kind of hard to keep them alive. So, yeah. It's okay. Just somebody caught that with a downswing. I saw two sabers, so that might be a G5, which would explain G5 booster, which would explain the single bazooka. Good claw. Yep, that enemy is down. Yeah, and the charged version of the megaparticle cannon is much more focused in mobile armor mode. It fires one big beam instead of basically an improved beam shotgun, which is what it fires when charged in mobile suit mode. So, let's see. Okay, looks like there might be a couple of G4 and 5 family suits here, and that might be what's going on. Like, again, as it is hard for me to tell some of these by sight, I also didn't know the Bound Dock could ascend that quick, basically like it's in space. Wow, yeah. Okay, yeah, I I think I see what I've been doing wrong. Part of that is that I am not good at doing, quick ascent and descent generally, like not in a way that leaves me ready to attack at a moment's notice. It's part of because of the way I've had my controls set up for like 15 years, so it's just, I ain't even trying to budge the muscle memory on that. But also, it's just also, yeah, my mistake was treating it like a hover suit and not like basically a space suit, which is, I think, probably a better description of how it seems to control in mobile armor mode, at least the way Heavy is doing it. But yeah, this is going pretty well. A couple of minutes to go. I think that was his first death, so yeah, definitely looking pretty good so far. So let's see what we got. But yeah, I think I've told the story of how the Bound Dock got its name before, but the way that certain sounds are distinguished in Japan is by accent marks on the symbols involved. So, for example, the symbol for the first part of Bound Dock's name, Ba, can be Ha if you take the accent marks off. Similarly, the K sound can be a G sound if you put accent marks on the Ku symbol. So basically, the idea is that Tomino or somebody moved the accent marks from Hound Dog from the G at the end to the H at the beginning and got Bound Dock. Which it does kind of look like a big dog, so yeah, it's the ears, I think. But yeah, one of these days when I describe that, I'll have to like put in like actual pictures of the word, because I have a feeling that if you're not looking at the katakana, it is hard to understand what it is I'm talking about there. But today I suspect it's not that day. Let's see. Good stun into downswing on the GPO4. Hit a good downswing on two suits at the same time. And yeah, they are now going to come down after. Yeah, that's a Delta Chi, I believe. And yeah, so 20 seconds left. And yeah, Heavy is going to just get away from that 3-on-1, which I think is a very wise move. And go back to flying saucer mode and see if he can land a shot. And yes, last second kill, very nice. And last second dead, so that's fair. Alright, let's take a look at the stats here, but that was a really good round. Yeah. Again, this is a suit that can do really well, I feel like, if you put the practice in, which I haven't. 174,000 damage and 6,035 out of 17k score. Very nice. 8 and 2. Yeah, that worked out really well. So thank you for sending it around my way, Heavy. I really appreciate it. And that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We'll be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody, take care and have fun. Later. Okay, yeah, so like I said, just about all of this is kind of based around making it more durable. Mobile suit mode was in mobile suit mode. It was given another 4,000 hit points. It went at level 1. It went from 21,000 to 25. The higher levels also got more. Its default movement speed went from 135 to 140. It now has a dodge roll even when it's not in resonance mode. Thank goodness, because yeah, every time I use that, I forget it doesn't have that until it gets into its Psycho Wave mode. And I try to dodge and nothing happens. So yeah, finally a dodge roll, which will be, Psycho Wave will probably adjust it to a double dodge roll once you're below 50% health. That should work. They combined High Performance Balancer and Melee Combo Controller level 2 into the skill Melee Composite System level 3. Given that it's level 3, yeah, that's I think that might give slightly better or slightly less damage drop off when you do your swings than it previously would have done. So not a bad thing if so. Forced Injector level 2 is now level 3. Maneuver Armor level 2 is now to level 3, so more damage reduction when you're boosting and take a hit. Damage Control level 1 adjusted to level 2, should be harder to stun. Higher Waist Special Cushioning level 2 is now adjusted to level 3, so more damage reduction on the Giant Skirt. Special Leg Buffer level 1 adjusted to level 2, so that is better defended too. Flight Control Program level 3 is adjusted to level 4, so I believe that gives you more boost efficiency and possibly damage reduction when you're boosting in the air. The cooldown time between swings on the claw has been shortened from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. Swap time on the Scattering Megaparticle Cannon has been shortened. And yeah, Psycho Wave now kicks in at 50% hit points instead of 30%, and it says it grants a slight boost to melee priority. So I guess that slight boost means it's like, I think it had priority 3, so maybe it has 3.5 now, so whenever you try to swing on something else that has priority 3, it will give you an advantage. That's just a guess. I forget what level priority it had off the top of my head. Transformed, it has the same hit point and speed enhancements. Still has melee composite system level 3. Looking to see if there's anything specific to its specs in mobile armor mode, and the only thing that is the cooldown between swings of your foot claws have been shortened to 2.5 seconds from 3. So yeah, that's not bad. Let's see. So in terms of stats, yeah, it was definitely suffering. Like I said, very large target, so the average for raids at 650 is 50.8% win rate. Baund Dock was managing 39.8. Rival win average 50.3, it was managing 31.1. Damage dealt on average 90k, it was at 69,038. And yeah, it was about 0.8 of a mobile suit higher on losses. 3.3 is the average for 650 raids, it was at 4.1. Similar numbers at level 2. 49.8 is the average raid win rate. It was down at 37.7. Rival win rate is an even 50%. It was at 23.2. That is possibly the lowest rival win rate I think I've ever seen. Damage dealt 60,000 when the average is 97k. And MS loss 4.0 against 3.2 being the average. So yeah, definitely, yeah, made it, made its melee weapons better, made it better defended, and made its best skills kick in faster. So that should be a pretty solid overhaul, I think.